So, you've got a feeling your dog might be expecting. You know, it's such an exciting thought, but it also brings up a ton of questions, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to walk through the entire 9 weeks of a dog's pregnancy, from those very first subtle clues all the way to getting ready for the big day. Let's dive in.
You know, it almost always starts with these little changes that just make you go, is she suddenly your shadow? Is she getting tired way faster on your usual walks? These are often the very first hints that a litter of puppies could be on the way. And hey, you know your dog better than anyone, so it's a good idea to trust your gut when you see these things.
So, just how long does this whole journey take? Well, on average, a dog's pregnancy, we call it the gestation period, is about 63 days long. That works out to roughly 9 weeks from start to finish, though of course there's always a little wiggle room in there.
In those first few weeks, the signs can be really easy to miss. You might notice her nipples look a bit puffier or a shade pinker. Maybe she's getting winded on walks that used to be a breeze. Some dogs even get a little bit of what looks like morning sickness. But it's super important to remember these are just clues. They can also sometimes point to other things, like a false pregnancy.
And because those early signs aren't a slam dunk, the absolute most important first step is a trip to your veterinarian. They've got the right tools to give you a definite yes or no, and more importantly, to make sure everything is heading in the right direction from the very start.
Your vet actually has a few different ways to confirm a pregnancy, and picking the right one is all about timing. Early on, around day 28, a skilled vet might be able to gently feel the little developing sacs in her abdomen. A blood test can also check for a specific pregnancy hormone. But really, for the best look, we need to use imaging.
And there's a really good reason for that. An ultrasound, which we usually do after day 25, is pretty much the gold standard. It's totally safe, non-invasive, and it tells us so much. It doesn't just confirm that she's pregnant, it lets us see the puppy's tiny little heartbeats. And that's the first real confirmation that they're alive and well in there.
Okay, now here's a really key point. While the ultrasound is perfect for confirming the pregnancy, an X-ray late in the game is the best way to get an accurate puppy count. See, after day 55, their little skeletons have calcified enough to show up on film. Knowing whether to expect 3 puppies or maybe 8 is absolutely crucial, so you'll know for sure when she's all done giving birth.
All right, so you've got the official confirmation. Congratulations. The focus now shifts to giving the mom-to-be the best possible care. This 9-week stretch is a time of incredible change for her, and she's really going to need your support.
We like to break the pregnancy down into 3 trimesters. In that first trimester, you honestly won't see many changes on the outside, but during the second, those little embryos are developing into recognizable pups. And then you hit that final trimester, weeks 7 to 9, and that's when things really take off. The puppies grow like crazy, and her need for calories just skyrockets.
So let's talk about food, because this is a big one. For the first 6 weeks, her normal, high-quality dog food is perfectly fine. But during those last 3 weeks, her energy needs can jump by up to 50%. That's when we recommend gradually switching her over to a high-quality puppy food. It's packed with the extra calories and nutrients she needs. And a great pro tip, since her belly is getting pretty crowded, feeding her smaller, more frequent meals is way more comfortable for her.
And what about everything else? Well, gentle exercise, like your usual walks, is fantastic. Until her belly starts to get really big. Then you'll want to switch to shorter, more frequent strolls. And listen, this part is critical. You must talk to your vet before giving her any medications, flea treatments, or supplements. Seriously, not everything is safe for a pregnant dog and her developing puppies. As that due date gets closer, your job is going to shift into prep mode. Getting everything ready for whelping, which is just the term for a dog giving birth, will make the whole process so much calmer and less stressful for everyone involved, especially her.
First things first, you need a whelping box. This has to be her safe space, somewhere quiet, warm, and out of the way. You know, you can buy one, but a simple plastic kiddie pool actually works great. The main thing is that mom can step in and out easily, but the puppies are safely contained. Line it with newspaper for the birth itself, it makes cleanup a breeze, and then introduce her to it a couple of weeks ahead of time so she starts to think of it as her own private den.
Next, you'll want to put together a little supply kit. Have a big stack of clean towels ready for drying off the pups, and a little bulb syringe can be helpful to gently clear a puppy's nose and mouth if needed. Most moms handle the umbilical cords just fine, but having some sterilized scissors and unwaxed dental floss on hand is a good idea just in case. And, most importantly, have your vet's emergency number written down and easy to see.
So, how will you know when it's go time? Oh, she'll let you know. She'll probably get super restless, panting a lot, and digging around in her box. That's that powerful nesting instinct kicking in. But the most reliable sign we look for is a drop in her temperature. It happens because of a sudden drop in her hormones.
When her temperature falls below 99 degrees Fahrenheit, you can bet that puppies will be arriving within about 24 hours. The birth itself happens in stages. Stage 1 is early labor. That's all the restless panting and nesting. Stage 2 is the actual delivery of a puppy, and Stage 3 is the passing of the placenta. For dogs, stages 2 and 3 happen together for each puppy. Mom will clean the puppy, take care of the cord, and it is totally normal for her to take a break for up to 2 hours between puppies.
Now, most births go just fine, but you have to know the red flags for a problem, what we call dystocia, or a difficult birth. You need to call your vet right away if it's been over 2 hours between puppies, or if she's pushing and straining hard for an hour with no puppy appearing. And this is an emergency. If you see a green discharge before the first puppy is born, that means the placenta might have detached. Just trust your gut. If she seems really exhausted or in a lot of pain, make the call.
Okay, we have covered so much ground here, from those first little signs all the way to delivery day. So when you boil it all down, what's the single most important thing to take away from this whole journey? It's this, plain and simple. Your veterinarian is your #1 partner through all of this. They're the ones who will confirm the pregnancy, guide you on her care, and be your lifeline if anything goes wrong. Building that relationship with your vet from day one is truly the key to a safe and healthy experience for both you and your dog.
Being prepared and informed is really the best gift you can give your dog and her new puppies. By working closely with your vet, you can help make this a wonderful and safe experience for everyone. Remember, this information is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional veterinary advice. If you have any concerns about your pet's health, please consult with your certified veterinarian. They are your best resource for ensuring your companion lives a long, happy, and healthy life.